But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try, just a little harder. If we just get one more try, life could be much sweeter. So the chairs are broke and they say that we set up jamming. So foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talk it nonsense, but the majority of we decide we're not going to run, because now is the time to show we patriotism. For we country's nation is that is our, so our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try, just a little harder. If we just get one more try, life could be much sweeter. So the chairs are broke and they say that we set up jamming. So foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talk it nonsense, but the majority of we decide we're not going to run, because now is the time to show we patriotism. For we country's nation is that is our, so our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try, just a little harder. If we just get one more try, life could be much sweeter. So the treasury broke and they say that recession jamming. So foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talk it nonsense. But the majority of we decide we're not going to run. Because now is the time to show we patriotism. For we country facing, its darkest hour. So our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try. Just a little harder. If we just get one more try, life could be much sweeter. So the treasury broke and they say that recession jamming. So foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talk it nonsense. But the majority of we decide we're not going to run. Because now is the time to show we patriotism. For we country facing, its darkest hour. So our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try. Just a little harder.
This outgoing administration and Minister of Finance, who, Mr. President, as you know, sings, that is the minister, sings one song here in the Parliament, and then Mr. President, he sings another song in an affidavit that was tendered to the courts earlier this year. Mr. President, his legacy, that is, will always be the lost decade. That would be his legacy, Mr. President. Mr. President, inflation and what I call the explosive rise
My apology,
in the cost of living.
Oh boy, I was talking.
Mr. President, data is showing that between September 2015 to December 31st, 2023, there has been a noticeable increase.
Let me just pause. I have to pause. I was making the point that no evil, no envy, no obstacle could come in the way of those who are righteous and are sanctified. And therefore, in spite of our challenges, we will rebound and return. Our resilience is not just unprecedented, but is natural. But let's go to the lines. Sorry about that. Pleasant good night. Welcome. Sorry, are you hearing me now? Yes. No, you're supposed to be hearing me now.
Alright.
Yeah, sorry about that. I omitted earlier to put on the mic. So of course enthusiastic I was to get back on. Let me make sure that of course the mic is in. Let me just check the system to make certain that everything is honky dory there. Boy, no. There's something wrong. Okay, there's something wrong. All right, good. All right, let me just. All right, so there was another issue with the mic. Yes. All right. Yes. I think things should be all right now. I was of course using one of the camera mics when I should be using, of course, an independent mic that I have here in studio. So I now realized that that was the independent mic was not on as well. But that does not take away the fact. Determination, effort, perseverance, will. And I was saying, of course, that the great poet says that standing at the foot and gazing at the sky, how can you get up if you never try? And try and try and try, and you will succeed at last. And then, of course, it was the great, of course, Chinese philosopher Confucius that says the longest journey begins with a single step, and we have made those steps, and we are well on our way to making certain that the iniquities and the evil and the diabolical and the misappropriation of our resources and the maladministration and the clear larceny of our patrimony, particularly for those that are yet to born. We cannot sit idly by and allow Rowley and them to provide a debt to GDP, what they borrowed over, 120 something billion dollars. They sent up, of course, the debt to GDP in the vicinity. Mark and them like to be conservative. I say that is closer to about 80 to 90%. They met it at about 44%. And then, of course, they met at over 12 billion in the reserve. They will never tell you that. No. Notice how criminalistic they are and how calculating they are. They will never tell you. It's as if it never happened. And they will tell you all the glorious things that they would have done. Piecemeal, helter-skelter, higgledy-piggledy, nonsensical, irrational. Because we are seeing it every day. When did they take out, as we discovered yesterday, with respect to the Minister of Works, when we called them out and we exposed the fact that they use this psychological process, this psychological tool called framing, where they do one good thing and make it look as though the hundreds of bad things that they would have done to the people, that one thing must not only sanitize them, but we must be stupid enough to say, yes, they are doing good. Hold on a little. Understand that. And their minions and their so-called spokespersons and or their activists or their sycophants, waste of time if they are watching people and have no conscience, unconscionable. And Rowley and they are so incorrigible that they encourage that kind of hogwash and nonsense to take place, to damage Trinidad and Tobago. Less, of course, those of us who are conscious take up the responsibility and the gauntlet and take charge of Trinidad and Tobago, because we can do better, we must do better, and we have to do better. Yes, people. You can telephone me now and see, let's test the system. But let's get back, of course, to Wayne Mark. And, of course, in this particular case, based on the deficit, what about $5 billion they say would be deficit for this fiscal year to come, or the new fiscal year that they have budgeted for. But I want to tell you, a major part of the financing of the $50-something billion, $59 billion thereabout, will be through the sale of assets. So when all of that is sold out, we have nothing to fall back on as far as assets are concerned as a country, as a government. And we need a Kamala Persad-Bissessar administration to not only augment the reserves, not only to carry the Heritage and Civilization Fund further by adding, quite apart from it earning its own increases, and to avoid that profligacy, that waste, and that misappropriation of policies and programs that have turned out to be the bane, to be a tragedy for Trinidad and Tobago under the Rowley administration. This, of course, being its penultimate year before the elections, inevitable next year by August. Yes, indeed. And we should show no mercy. We should be unrelentingly pursuing them, and to make certain that blue lights and silver bracelets become the order of the day when they are catapulted out of office. I say the UNC and Kamala Persad-Bissessar must get at minimum 26 to 27 seats. The way out is looking, it may be more. We may have, of course, pass, but nonetheless a revisit of 1986 33-3. 33-3. Or put another way, more recent. The 14-1 scenario in Tobago can be, of course, replicated nationally to 41, and a vex if they get one. But of course, you must have an opposition. So if you don't have that, it means that the ruling party, having swept the polls, will have to, of course, appoint someone to be opposition, because that's how the system works. We saw that when, of course, there was a no-vote campaign under Eric William, and they had to appoint from the government side a member to, of course, oppose the government. So whether it happened naturally or it happened artificially by the government of Kamala Persad-Bissessar coming out of the consequential of the 2025 elections, and she has to appoint, of course, somebody to and who would agree to be opposition, no problem. But we need to get a revolution in this country, and to show Rowley and they that iniquities like Balize House must remain there in perpetuity, to tell future generations how not to manage the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago, how not to be gullible by talk, hyperboles, and body language that suggest that somehow they know what they're doing, when in fact they have collapsed our society in every sphere of activity. Let's hear the man as he tells us where they are going to target and deprive us and dispossess us of resources that could otherwise be spent to, of course, generate employment opportunities, improve our education system, sports, agriculture, social development, etc. Let's go to the lines. Pleasant, good night. Welcome. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I hear you now, guys.
Beautiful. Sorry about that. I made some mistakes earlier and it created a little hiccup in the studio here. But go ahead.
Lennox, I see bandits went and put on school uniform and perform a robbery today.
So they're done with police uniform then?
Yes, guys, we're only gonna call back all the school uniforms now.
I like that one. I like that one. Yeah, yeah. Because of course, the commissioner called back all the uniform for certain
Yeah.
units
So
in the
guys, we're
police
only gonna
service.
call
Yeah,
back all the school uniforms.
yeah.
You see, this thing is a fiasco, you know. You know what I say so?
Right.
The hierarchy,
Yes.
who pulling back them uniforms, know who getting the contract to make the new one, you know.
Oh yes, they done sharpen the chops already, and of course put their
Right.
mechanisms
There's
in place
8,000 plus people
to
they
achieve that. Yes.
have to get uniform.
Yes.
That's a multi-million-dollar uniform contract,
Yes.
right? But you wouldn't hear about that one. You wouldn't hear about that at all. Somebody done high up that and collecting our money out of that. So crime does pay. It does pay for other people to make money. You understand?
Yeah.
That is stupidness that going on in this place. And this Randall Mitchell trying to come in parliament and say that how you must ask tourists outside in other countries how the cost of living is. You know, play a clip there where the man say the cost of living going up by at least 60% on some items
Yeah, somebody
before any cut off there.
food inflation in particular is caused.
Yeah.
It's caused.
Butter is going for $13 now for one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think a corned beef is almost $30.
Yeah.
What wrong with these people, boy? And you know, they ask the same question in the people meeting on, I think it's CNC3 tonight. And you know what the people say?
What?
One woman come out bold face and she say, here better than where? Here ain't good. Look at me. I living on salary from 2015 time to now. And I can afford to buy food. And next one jump up and say, crime taking place in this country. What better outside better than here? Because they have another crime to deal with. And they're so right because this fella, what you name the housing, the tourism minister, Mitchell and company, them pulling all over people like them don't recognize the state of crime in this country, you know, that we're doing to people. People
No, they
getting
do,
chopped
they
up,
do,
invade,
they do, but their
murder.
job is to hoodwink. They remind me of Google's Hitler's minister of propaganda. That is what they are all engaged in. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yes, and that's what they're doing. And even this one or two East Indian that in the party, this what's your name? Rukuna, whoever is your name, so grim. And the next one, I forget his name. But the two of them sit down there as window dressing, right? And both of them is big Hindu and all kind of thing in the party. And I thought if she leave 100 more Indian lineup, that more Indian lineup to line their pockets, because that all of them going in there to do. That all of them going into the line their pocket and get rich. You ever see anybody going inside the women poor? Any Indian going that party in that PNM and holding any kind of office in there, them have plenty money behind their bank account. They go in there without and they come out there with. That's so great, man. Them can't fool nobody. She out like
I mean,
like a river.
the likes of Jose, the Minister of Agriculture, the Avinash Singh, the Minister of Works.
Avinash Singh. Yeah.
They can enter the doors of the UNC and be significant because clearly they are consummate dunderheads, they are nincompoops, and of course they have acclimatized, of course, to the mediocrity that the PNM represents and exhibits, and so for window dressing, probably them will accommodate them and pay them handsomely, and of course they will, by shortcut, augment whatever little that they would have had, and of course be line their pockets in the process as part of that criminal enterprise. But they cannot, conform to the stringent standards, the high standards of the UNC. No, people like Tim Gopi Singh and of course the frontline Lee and all of them can't put in their shoes. So let's not waste time, especially the Indian part of the PNM.
Them disconnected from the people and connected to the money. How about good night, Lennox?
Yes, thank you very much, of course, my friend. Let me see if I can take this one here. Let's take it here instead. Pleasant good night, welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night, Lennox, to you and to everybody out here.
Yes.
Lennox,
Hey.
you know these nasty, dirty PNMites. You ain't have no stinking shame. Instead of coming to ask you how you get the money to fix the building, what you do with the money that you get to fix the building, why we can't see the inside of the building, why they don't ask what Rowley do with the material from the Scarborough Hospital, why they don't ask what Rowley do with the COVID money, he take the money and build Barry's house, And when I tell you they stinker, they nasty Lennox, you know when they come out and they come and they talk to them, to talk about them, they come in, you see, Lennox going to be very graphic here tonight.
Yes,
you see the nasty things that your mother used to do.
That's how it is. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you know the nasty things that their mother used to do, they like to put it off on other people.
Yes.
And there's one on your chat, I want fruit something. Well, I tell you, that's one nasty stinking man. One nasty stinking man. I would send, what did he told me on your chat, what kind it was?
No
I
problem.
would send it for you.
Yes,
They show the nastiness of them Lennox. They're so stinking nasty. Rowley thief out all the COVID money to build Barry's house and buy Ina's gate house. He coming to ask you what you do with the money. But you see, Lennox, all that is a distraction.
Of course.
All that is a distraction. What is going on? How the PNM imploding. How the PNM imploding.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, the dirty nose and mouth was all up in UNC business for the UNC internal. Oh, Kamala have to go. Kamala don't want to call the election. Kamala this and Kamala. What is Rowley doing now? What is Rowley doing?
Yes.
You know I have to take a sip of water.
Yeah, go ahead, man. You go right ahead because this is a battle and we are going to prevail because evil could never prevail over good. And we know they represent
Lennox,
evil.
and
But
let
go
me
ahead.
tell you something, I make up my mind for all of them nastiness of them. All of them. I don't care who it is. You come after me, I'm going after you.
Very good.
Lennox,
yes.
in 2013, Louis at the PNM internal elections, Louis Leasing said, because Keith Rowley had put up the PNM constitution to allow non-paying members to vote, because he wanted them to vote for him.
Right.
Louis Leasing said it in an article. Right to hell in a handbasket or something like that. It was the caption.
Okay,
right?
I'll find it.
He said, he said that if Dr. Rowley opened up the Constitution to allow non-paying members to vote, what will he do as Prime Minister? What will he do with our Constitution? And it is now history. What that rotten gut liar, lunatic, did with our Constitution. He twisted for the procurement. He twisted it for the merit list. He twisted it for everything. And these dirty more PNMites want to come and talk about people. And look at what he tried to do now. And now you have Boynes and all of them, Lehan, Jennifer Patisse, everybody coming out and talking about what it is Rowley doing. Because he wants to put Stuart Young there. But you see, they're not watching that. They don't want to talk about that. But to stink up everybody, that's what they're doing. But hear what? We will answer them when they stink we up, and we're going to tell them what PNM doing.
Of course.
We're going to tell them what this PNM doing. He ain't had no shame to come to ask you tonight. What you do with the money? How come nobody see inside George Street building? Why you going visit?
But I thought it never existed.
Did you ever stop anybody from visiting?
At one time it never existed, you know. At one time it never existed. No, George Street, no. Oh, they come to the
After you hear all that shooting and thing, why would you allow them PNM criminals and them to come inside of there? Because that's what they are.
No, I will allow them to
criminals.
come if they could fix the plumbing, if they could fix the electricity, if they could nail up a partition, and if they could put up a wall. They have to come with a skill. They can't come just so. You're mad? I don't care what
But
they say
Lennox, look
afterwards.
at how you were inviting everybody to come help you fix the building.
Yes.
Why that truth hurt didn't come and help you? But no, he coming on every program to stink up people. And here's something ironical.
Right.
Imagine that next one that they call Tall Man. Get on TCNM program today and say what them UNC people when they can't face the truth, they just want to call people names. Lennox, what is that nastiness? This call me every morning.
I mean, it's comic relief.
You see how they stink?
But go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, they stink, Lennox.
Yeah.
They stink.
Yeah.
You know, Lennox, them ain't have no shame, you know.
None whatsoever.
Them ain't have no shame. Like
None
worm
whatsoever.
eat out the shame.
Yes.
But if they feel, Lennox, that this wrongs, they're getting away with the nasty things they want to tell people, they lie. We're ready for them.
Of course. No doubt. I'm willing, able, and willing, and I'm going to, of course, be as vicious,
you see, like when
as
you see when a
vociferous,
snake ready
and
to
as
strike.
biting, as better and worse than the pit bull.
Yeah, Lennox, you see when a snake ready to strike?
Yes.
You see how he just gear up?
Coil, yes,
Man,
coil, and
waiting for them.
they spring forward,
Yeah,
yes.
waiting
yes.
for them. They're not
Yes.
getting away.
Yes,
They're not getting, you know why, Lennox? They have no damn respect for women.
Yeah.
They have no respect for women. You see what happened, Lennox? This is my opinion.
Yes.
Apparently, all the men that come through the mother life had no respect for her. So
Right.
that's how they learn it. Don't respect women. And it looks as though the women in their lives, they don't respect them either. They don't respect them either. So they figure now they can come down and tell any woman that they come across the nastiest thing that can come out of their mouth.
Yeah.
That is what they feel. Well, I get called enough coolie from that one they call treated. Yeah, because you see, Lennox. They don't like the answers.
Who God bless,
they
no
don't
man,
like
no
the
man
answers
curse.
that you just give them.
Who God bless,
Yeah.
no man curse. So that's the idea.
No man curse.
Yes, right.
You hear? And they don't like the answers that you just give them. And the thing is, you are coming with facts. Not
Yes, all
PNM
the time.
fiction, you know. You're
The
coming with facts.
innuendos
But
and-
like
And
facts.
hominums
Yeah.
and circumlocutions and all kind of hogwash that has no reality,
Yeah.
that has no basis in reality. So we know who they are. We
Yeah,
know who the enemies are. And
We
therefore
know them.
will
We know them by the heart.
fashion
We know
our
them by the heart.
counter punches to suit. Right? We fashion our
Yeah.
counter punches to
Yeah.
suit.
And,
Yes.
and you see now, Lennox, how crucial this election is. You understand?
They understand that
Getting
as
away
well.
with anything.
That is why they're so desperate.
Yeah, that is why
And
they
of course,
get it on
they
too.
dig deep, of
Yeah,
course,
and-
in the
and you know-
concoctive machinery.
And like PNM give them a few dollars and send them out there. Go on all the programs and them and mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Go on
It's
all
all
the
right.
programs and them
On
and
this
mess
occasion,
it
we are
up.
ready for them.
We will deal with them, Lennox.
Yeah.
We will deal with them. You know why? Because this wrongs, we're not holding back any respect. All you want to be disrespectful, we're going to be the same way too.
Yeah, fight fire with
All
fire.
you want to dance, we will
that's it.
dance with you all.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fight fire with fire. All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it ain't no shame. It ain't no shame, Lennox.
yeah.
Anyway, Lennox, you take care and have a good night. Later.
Will do. Let me say categorically, because I know that they are listening as well. Let me tell you something. I am from Laventille. Understand that. There's nobody who could give fatigue, and nobody could target for embarrassment or identify for embarrassment more than a Laventillian. Understand that. So all you be careful, because if all you want to defend a rapist and a pedophile and leave them as your leader, that is your problem. That is your business. But do not arrogate unto me and try to sell a story that I must now not just respect. According to them, I must respect. And of course, obey, and at the same time, laud a pedophile, a racist, and a political kobo, and a pedophile and a rapist. I can't overemphasize that. And if you want to be the follower of such an individual, that's all your business. But don't get me, because I am going to respond in like manner. Understand that. I am going to respond in like manner, because it's about time all you understand. Ability is ability, standard is standard, and if it is that I have to get into, of course, the Gael in order to let all you understand that you all are no match, then so be it. This could be considered to be a pugilistic, yes, pugilistic fight, and we will knock out. This is not about saving anyone. It's knockout punch after knockout punch. Understand that. Understand that. And I say to all and sundry, all, your leader is a rapist and pedophile and want to talk to me and make aspersions that clearly has no basis, of course, in reality. But more than that, you feel you have liberty and believe that will. No, that is water and duck back as far as I am concerned. But I am going to respond. Understand that. Go ahead, caller, Mr. Taringo. Yes.
Like Muhammad Ali.
Yes, man, a bubbling and weaving, and of course a bubbling like a bumblebee. Yes, sir. Yes, man.
I'm just chopping it on them. You know we come from.
Yes, verbally. Since they want to play stupid, you're stopping a pedophile and a rapist, and you want to talk about moral and ethical and who thief and who ain't thief and where what and so on and so on. Go and talk to Rowley on that. Go ahead, man.
And you know Ali had all the shots.
Yeah. Don't rile me up. Don't rile me up at all. All I will be shocked is to know the kind of ability in the Gael that Smith has. But go ahead.
I hear one of them from Tobago today.
Yeah.
Their whole plan is to keep UNC on the tip of the tongue right through.
Yeah.
And this is what they've been doing for the past 10 years or 9 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Here we go and see. UNC is how we start off, eh? And from the way within the Constitution, some crappy talk. To keep bad talking the PNM. But the open was the UNC. Everything is UNC. But that going on all the time. UNC is to blame for this. UNC is to blame for that. Well, you know that? That's all that's going on. Because they have nothing to tell the people.
Of course. And these what I consider to be obnoxious and thunderheaded and simpletons cannot, of course, string a good sentence together and want to talk. I will show all you how Laventillians does do it in terms of stringing sentences together and at the same time being very incisive. Yes.
They can't put two words together.
Yeah.
Just how they go tell the people 1 and 1 is 11. Don't know what you know.
Yeah. Bunch of
let me tell you something, eh?
Yeah, no, when go to school, the best subject probably is recess, and they prefer to go to school in during the August holiday. Yeah.
Remember, Joe Pandey left office, you know what you call some attack with you? Like Israel? $4.95. $4.95, I will never forget that.
Yeah.
Because I had to buy a loaf every evening for my dog.
You can't manage your own parlor, you can't manage your own kitchen. You want to play that you're living off of the past, and the past itself is questionable because we should have been at the status of Singapore by now, having regard to the resources that pass through. The entire history of the PNM should be, of course, expunged from Trinidad and Tobago's library of political activities and developments, as far as I'm concerned.
And let me tell you this too. I do have sympathy for brothers for a while, right? That is so okay.
Yeah.
A case of blue band margarine with 60 pounds in it, you know what the price of? $12.
A case?
$12, which is 24 cents a pound.
Okay.
Right. The white gentleman is a little piece of artery about 16 or 17 dollars.
Yeah.
From 24 cents. To that amount of money.
Yeah.
I could never forget that. But I hear that it was 50 pounds for $12. So you see how the cost of living rise and keep rising all the time under these people. Don't even Kamala come and Pandey we try to get things back to normal. These people don't know how to earn money by Lennox. They have no idea. And this is facts I give you here. And I hear they talking about Kali Muja balance, look, see a balance. You sit there talking about them. You see just how you are talking.
Yes.
Then you cannot talk.
Hold on, Mr. Rima. Just finishing up here with Mr. Tagrigo. Go ahead.
Then you cannot talk to what?
Yeah.
Then she come on before the TV and you just talk this way. Then Mr. Rima come on before the TV and you just keep going.
Yes. Okay.
Right, go ahead and let you come on.
All right, my friend.
Right.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Rima. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Leonard Smith, good night.
Good night to
Earlier
you.
when I tried calling twice, I was telling you the line giving trouble.
Yes.
You wasn't hearing me.
I think we have resolved that issue, so we are up
Yeah,
this
well,
even
passed.
now. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. That's how it
Yes.
is. You know, it happens at times. Murphy's law: when things has to go wrong, it will at the worst possible time. But that doesn't mean to say you must give up. No, you try and try until you succeed.
Yes. So I like how you're playing Mr. Wade Mark and you educate the people, but they're interested in that. As I say, they like the Bacchanal story over and
We will
over.
give them that as
Bacchanal.
well, because nobody, I'm telling you flat, nobody whose leader is a pedophile and a rapist. I'm talking about Rowley here, Dr. King, Christopher Rowley,
Nah,
the
we
so-called
know
Prime
about
Minister.
that.
Nobody
I
could
know
come
about that.
and try to arrogate and try to intimidate or try to cause a
You
bear
don't
false witness
understand, man.
against me or anybody else that I know. And I will remain silent and not defend that
No,
situation.
you ain't
Go ahead, my friend.
understanding, my man.
No,
You ain't
no. I'm
understanding
talking
me.
generally.
The callers
Not
here.
you I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm talking
but
generally, yes.
But what's showing you, the callers here, they wouldn't talk on that subject that you talk on different
I
subjects.
hear
This is what I
you, but that
say.
is not for them.
Bacchanal
Yeah,
story.
that's right. That
You
is not for
understand?
them. That is for the
We have to
33%.
educate them. Bacchanal
That's right.
story shit they're making me reach no way.
Yeah.
We had to show people the importance of what's going on in the country with this government. We're dealing with them criminals next door. That's the problem, you know. People have to understand, right? All what we're going through here is because of the criminal friends that they have.
Yeah, but you're making my
And
point.
the only other set of
Yeah, but you're making my point,
Watch
you know.
me.
You're making the point that what I'm just saying, that these people who are their spokespersons, who of course ain't care one shit and have a part and a stick to look after in terms of the national interests. They will be
Watch me.
defending.
If you
Just now, they will be
if you
defending
notice,
Rowley and their nonsense by getting, of course, the opportunity through social media, etc. And we need to have a mix that deals with that and still, of course, advance for those who are serious in this society. We must be able to deal with all of them. But go ahead, my friend.
what I'm saying is it'll be too much a bacchanal story, Lennox. If you notice, I don't have time for that, you know. If I get attacked, yes. And if you notice, them PNM people don't tell me nothing, you know. They don't have one word to say to me.
You will be
Before,
surprised. You will be surprised.
Sometimes I will be surprised. Why
you
they
will be
don't talk
surprised.
on here?
Yeah, no one
They don't.
no one escapes the stink mouth of these people, especially
Watch
if
me.
you are
I
saying
find
something
it's
positive.
time.
Yeah.
I find it's time to tell me something. It ain't no waiting. It ain't no waiting. As years I talking here I used to be talking on the ground. Them can't attack me because the things I just be talking about, they're able to attack me with it. Because if ever they try, sometimes some of them just try and chat. And when I start to get them so, they can't keep up.
But this is what I'm saying. This is the
You
point I'm
see?
making. You don't leave it
No, don't
you
interrupt me.
don't leave
Just
it.
now, I want to talk long. The time
Go
going.
ahead.
So they don't already attack me. They will attack with fool. The ones who will attack me is UNC. UNC sycophants. They talk a lot of foolishness, like up to the other night, last night. One telling me OAS, OAS, yap, yap, yap. And you, and well, myself and you, because I was talking about it first. I always talking that, and you now come talking about it a little while ago to educate the foolish people. But they care about blocking for the UNC because them ain't talking about that. You understand? They ain't talking. So due to how the opposition are talking, it looking bad how I, as they say, yap yap in my mouth. You see? But people need to talk out and they will wake up from the sleepiness. And this is what UNC sycophants don't like about me when I call them sleepy heads. I want to say good night to Mr. Alney Williams, who stand up this morning and say something about some little ills in the UNC. Right? The story long, we know how we talk. And a man had to call in and tell him that he will get discipline from so and so. I ain't gonna call name. I was trying my best to stay away from them fools and talk important things. So as I saying, it's only them foolish ones in the UNC just want to tell me something. That one named Judy Ali attacking. Before she looked to talk about the ills in the UNC and come up with something so that we could fight the PNM. You only they attacking me and I said that shit. Yeah. And as you say, stay away from Lavantillians. This is how I put in it. Don't interfere with we kind of people because if we give you a little cost, it gonna be a big cost for you. You hear? I answer people and I give them a little cost and I get banned. So let's if I catch them in the center. We's are people, we just pelt big stone with 2 hands and bust your head. We straight. So if it reached to that, all you have to be very careful and we don't say nothing, eh? We just wait. So all you be very careful with all your stupidness. Deal with the issues. But what I want to say is, today, after Stuart Young in the parliament, talk and he talk about oil and gas and energy and he talk. When Anne Roberts take the floor, Lennox, he gave him. Well, here now, I play that thing over and I laugh too bad. He make him know if he only go across there, that man locking up people and they will lock him up. And I tell him that the other night, I say he could end up getting hole over there. And Robert had to make him know that the last gas minister, after the jail one, before this one, they come and jail. He shake hand with this new gas minister and bam, he get arrested for thieving money in PDVs. That Konoko Phillips, right? That was a thing somebody sent me, but I forget the correct name. And I'll say the correct name today. That they will be seizing money from Venezuela because payments where we pay, we Trinidad and Tobago pay for that drug and gas deal up front, and they had to do some kind of negotiating with Venezuela. That Konoko Phillips, I don't understand the thing too good, right? I just bringing it however I could.
Go ahead.
And Robert say, every single cent that the Venezuelans do any transaction with them, they will have to seize it. It has some court matter. The thief out with money. And I was saying that whole time, the thief and with money, these people hands very sticky. All of them, so president go right back and we live in that and we see in that. You understand? All we money going down the drain with this stupid man they call Stuart Young. You go on over there, make negotiation with a man and feel we ain't gonna find out. Right? And they had to arrest the man. His name is Pedro Tejeji or something like that.
Yeah, recently anointed
Yeah.
Minister of Energy. Yeah.
Every cent we put into this thing, it just going. And then all they want to come around and tell we to pay property tax, to take we money together. And that property tax is a scam.
Yeah,
They're trying something, and it's only foolish people running and paying.
It's a fallback position for their profligacy, for their wasting of the resources and their mismanagement. So that's a fallback.
Yeah.
So they have a cadre of money now that they could fall back on, called the property tax. That is what that is all about. And
I am not paying any property tax.
I too am of the same view.
I am not paying. It have people, you hear? They can't even sell their property, the kind of property some people have. I want to know who buying it. And everybody bad inside are here right now, you know. I want to know how they're doing that. I can't see how. A set of foolish talk, they're telling people lying and they're catching a set of foolish ones to run and pay. Look, Lennox, I vexed tonight. Yes, I
hear you. And be vexed right through, because until and after the elections, vexed until up on election day itself. After election day, then of course, reduce your vexation. All right, because like me, I am decided to be vexed until after the elections. As soon as the results are called, I don't being vexed. All right, my friend. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night. Good night to you. Yes, people. Of course, she spoke about that, Philip. I too, the first part of the name has slipped me, but I am familiar with this situation. That is an oil company that Maduro seized their assets. They were operating in Venezuela, and Maduro and they seized their assets. They went to a court in the United States, and they gave them judgment to seize and or take any asset that is belonging to the government of Venezuela that can be of course be subjected to judicial consideration in any country. So what they did recently, that same company, they got the judgment, but they know that Maduro is doing business with Trinidad. So they came to Trinidad court, present the documents to the local high court here, and they have gotten consistent with the judgment that they got before. The local court will ratify any kind of assets that they could identify belonging to the Venezuelans in Trinidad. They can take it. That is what that is all about. So you understand why it is a valid and a real case. But George Young and they have a duty and responsibility to tell us that. But they will not, because it waters down. It shows flies in their ointment. So he will come and regale us with a set of what I consider to be prospective, some futuristic, some built-in illusionary, hopeful outcomes. And we have had enough examples of failed prophecies by this government across the board to know that that is another piece of public relations, or put another way, is really propaganda. Why can I say that? Well, remember when Stuart Young and Rowley went up to Texas, saying they went to the boardrooms of the upstreamers, Shell and Amoco and so on, to get a better gas deal. Of course, Rowley afterwards, as part of his meandering and his desultory and his multiple excuses for the same thing, this was no exception. He's now saying that he never went and negotiated, but of course, we have him on record. And don't get me vexed before I play it, you know. We have him on record saying that he and Stuart Young went up to the boardroom and they negotiated a gas price. What tell me about? Similar to when he said that he not closing down Petrotrain. It is as clear as day. It is as pellucid as, of course, when night give way to day and vice versa. Let's not waste time. So, Stuart Young is another episode, but in a different bottle, let me put it that way, of that what I consider to be amorphous, always projecting benefit for Trinidad. But in this case, of course, they're talking 2027. Wait for 3 years, because they want to win the election on that piece of hogwash. But the point I am making is that back then, when he first left Trinidad on what clearly is now a frequent flyer agenda by this Prime Minister, he came back from, he left Rowley in the United States and came back to Trinidad. Around that time, throw your minds back, around that time in La Brea, BP Amoco was constructing the first marine rig drilling platform, the first one at Brighton in La Brea. And they had, of course, industrial disputes. The people were saying in La Brea that they go put on tools because they weren't paying industry standard. But Amoco was saying that they're moving too slow because they were engaging in industrial action. And it was Stuart Young who came back and said that the negotiations by Rowley included a commitment by BP that they will not move the Angeline platform. Remember that? The Angeline platform. And while he was talking that hogwash, he, Stuart Young, is saying that the Prime Minister negotiated for the settlement and for the non-moving because Amoco was threatening to move that and carry it elsewhere to be completed, that Angeline platform. And guess what? Almost, while Stuart Young was calling up, was engaged in a press conference, telling us that hogwash, that diatribe, that cacophonous episode of abuse of the English language. BP was towing the Angeline platform to Mexico. Why this man was telling us, so do not take these fellas serious. These fellas are clearly, as I often say, they want to take over the role of Larry Joseph and Tommy Joseph. A bunch of comic or comedians. But let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Lennox,
Hey.
one for the road. One
Go ahead,
for the
go ahead,
road.
man, go ahead.
I sent a nice voice note for you. You must listen to it.
All right.
Lennox, I just want to say, nobody don't pelt empty fruit trees. They always pelt bearing fruit trees.
Of course.
And they don't like what I just say, so that is why they will attack me.
That's
and
right.
I will always have the answer for them. And who don't like it, too bad.
That's right.
You understand? Too bad for them. Lennox, you have a good night.
Okay, I certainly will look at it, man. We are going to get it
All
from
right.
them. But the thing about it is, they are so nebulous, they're so dunderheaded, and all you have to say, people, your leader is a pedophile and a rapist, but you want to talk to me? And he has demonstrated that he has turned the PNM into a criminal enterprise of a mafia nature. You want to talk to me? I have no influence there. I'm not in charge of the resources of the country, including the financial. So don't try to deflect attention away from your, what I consider to be your idols, incompetence and kobo nature and criminalistic nature. No. And if you only get me vexed, I only have to say birds of feather flock together. And therefore, whilst you may be a simpleton or an insignificant or infinitesimal element in the whole process, but it's clearly you too want to be a thief, a rapist, and a pedophile. And I done the talk. So let us get it clear. I am not going to sit idly by. There's too much at stake for nincompoops and simpletons to say things that clearly they're saying it because they have nothing else to say and that they believe they could be as nasty as possible and tarnish. And of course, but I want to tell you, I'm ready too, that if they only threaten to go to court, man, the kind of avalanche I will let go on them as far as court is concerned, they will wish they weren't born. You know what I say? I will let go from the magistrate. And I'm telling you, I ain't calling a UNC lawyer. From the magistrate level right up to the High Court, I will have them marching in and out. So when all you accuse me and I accuse all you back, have nothing to say. Shut your mouth, eat your biscuit, and go away. That's what you have to do. I from Laventil. I warn it all you. I from Laventil. Whether it's Juliet, whether it's Mr. Porospain and so on, or it's all they are talking about. All they are talking about, inclusive of all your leader, a rapist and a pedophile, Keith Christopher Rowley, and a total asshole, a total whole ass, a total dunderhead, a total moron. The fella called Stuart Young. Nobody knew him from anywhere. Only know that too. And I ain't started to deal with, of course, the internal implosion and the internal conflict or dialectic, it is called, of the PNM as yet. You see, because you don't run your mouth in advance and then you play that you are a paragon of virtue and that you are impeccable and that your standing is one that cannot be questioned, because that is what was meted out to the UNC. And if it was meted out to the UNC, then it means therefore you are not immune, because now that your turn has reached for internal, what I consider to be convulsions. Yes. Earthquake and tremors and pestilence and all kinds of what I consider to be weather phenomenon, whether it be hurricane, whether it be a cyclone, whether it be spinners, yeah, I talk about tornadoes, whether it be that inside of the PNM, hush your mouth and let me talk. Hush your mouth and let me talk. Get the ass out of the way. You cannot make any contribution to national development. And these people are in my way because they are in government. Once they get out of government, I have nothing to say to them. I turn my back and I start to focus on, of course, the development of communities such as these. And until all they could show all the credentials for, of course, being creative and generating, of course, the engineering, talking about the socio-economic and psycho-cultural engineering or re-engineering that is required for attitudinal change, so that we can generate the paradigm so that our young people can see a better life, that can touch a better life, that can live a better life. And then all the tail, you all are persona non grata as far as I'm concerned. And whether it's Hines or whether it be Rowley, whether it be any one of them, male or female, they shall feel the wrath of true power, because nobody knew them before. Nobody knew all you. Tell them about where they come from. To try to pronounce, because we are trying, of course, to bring back decency and the democracy and moral and ethical standards, and of course the principles of good life and good living in Trinidad and Tobago, and you want to attack in ways that clearly has no basis in reality. But I will show all you. I will show all you. Yes, I know that they will be telling them. I will show all you. I'll show all you. I'm from Laventil. I'll show all you. But they like Lacare, I will show all you. No. It will be in the spirit of what? Reciprocity. You touch me, I will touch you back. Starting from tomorrow. So I have put a line of demarcation from tomorrow. Any one of them, on the ground report, on the corridor transformation or elsewhere, and I have the response capacity or ability, I am going to deal with it in like manner. You can't have blasted glass house and throwing stone. You are a fool so to do, if that is the process. And down here, we should have better, should I say, accommodation or coordination or understanding that when, because they are up there and they are eating ham, lamb, and jam, and you have nothing, but you want to play that you want to verbally concoct, manufacture, like Rowley at that level in order to get a prime minister and a government out of office. That is treason. But in your case, in their case, they are political utilities for the PNM, and we are going to, like manner, since they try to destroy us, we must now reciprocate. Let us get it clear. Let me just finish, of course. We have more on this topic, but let me just finish with, of course, yeah, but it's quite a lot, but let me just finish.
Across various price indices.
Let's go a little further. Tomorrow, of course, I will start a little $100 million
less than the valuation. The government must tell the country why they undervalued that MHIL and sold it to the Proman group of companies through a company called Consolidated Energy Limited. We need answers, Mr. President, on that question that I've raised. Mr. President, this government recently announced that they were shortlisting 3 companies to take charge of either the lease or sale of Petrotrin refinery. Point up here. Mr. President, what is interesting in this matter, and I am asking for, I'm calling on the government to provide us with some answers. Mr. President, 3 companies were shortlisted. One called Crow Consortium. The other one is Inca Refinery. And the other one is Oando. Mr. President, these are the 3 companies that were shortlisted. When we checked the registry to get information on these companies, we realized that Crow Consortium is made up of 3 locally incorporated companies. One called
Listen carefully, people.
Ocala. The other one is DR Commodities. And the other one is Chemitech. These are the 3 companies falling under Crow Consortium. Mr. President, what we found interesting is that when we did a search for Crow Consortium, it yielded no results. Mr. President, may I repeat? A search was conducted on the online system for CRO Consortium, that is the parent company of these 3 locally incorporated companies, and the search yielded no results. It means that CRO Consortium is not legally incorporated under the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, Mr. President, the question must be asked, if this company is not legally incorporated under the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, how come this company was shortlisted by the cabinet of the government of the Honorable Prime Minister? How, Mr. President? And Mr. President, what is even more alarming, if I may say, is this. You have every company there is questionable and are suspicious. Everyone. And you know, the DR Commodities was formerly DR Logistic. But when you check DR Commodity, it is the parent company of this local company, but it is based in India. And when we check the Indian company, we realize on the board of directors were 2 associates and family members of Jindal. That is what we are seeing, 2 members of the Jindal family on the board of directors of the parent company called DR Commodities.
Bobble after bobble.
So, Mr. President, this government, we are calling on the government to scrap that entire process. We are calling on the government to scrap that entire process. Because, and what is even more important, Ocala is a Venezuelan company engaging in oil and gas. It's a holdings company, Mr. President, that is sanctioned by the United States. How come this government is shortlisting a company that is sanctioned by the United States to take over our Point of View refinery? Mr. President, you know what has happened? Jindal went through the front door and he came through the back door. That is what is happening. So we want the government to scrap that entire project. It is too corrupt. And the government must answer. In fact, we need a criminal forensic investigation into this entire transaction. This outgoing administration and Minister of Finance, who, Mr. President, as you know, sings, that is the minister, sings one song here in the Parliament, and then, Mr. President, he sings another song in an affidavit that was tendered to the courts earlier this year. Mr. President.
Yes, people, of course, I think that you have got quite a mouthful. Of course, we'll explain all of that tomorrow on the ground report as well as on the corridor transformation. And of course, it's very interesting times. We are going to focus, of course, on the relevance and the developmental issues that are affecting us, bread and butter issue. But we need to put in place as well those persons, just as at the higher level, at the level of minister and cabinet and party, they believe that they could say what they want about people and the people must not have a response capability. I bet you the thing I go say about them, I bet you they hush the crow. I bet you they hush the crow. Because when a Laventilian want to talk, and when, of course, you're thinking that you could out-talk, You can't talk me intellectually. You can't talk me at the level of the grassroots. You can't out-talk me. That's why they say, come on Prince Street. Why say they say come on Prince Street for? And why they say I was just one cloud? Why do you think they say that? Because I know these dunderheads, including those who would have grown up in these communities and claiming to be of these communities. They are jokers, comparatively speaking, of course, because I was able, of course, to struggle on all of the, what I consider to be the socio-economic and psycho-cultural, not just dynamics, not just realities, not just associations, not just interaction, not just that, but it was always for positive development. You want to know what is happening, and therefore you can provide solutions. That is what that is all about. That is what education is all about. That is what research is all about. That is what making interventions that will transform and develop is all about. As we develop our physical and human capacity to contribute to nation building, the country called Trinidad and Tobago, which all of us love, and we must be able to do better therein, act better, because we know better, and we must be able to ensure that we leave at Trinidad and Tobago for our future generations to feel comfortable, to feel comforted, and to know that their predecessors did what was required to lay the foundation for their own development and their own opportunity to strive whilst they are living beings on the face of this planet, and in particular Trinidad and Tobago. Have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. And in spite of the static, I think we had a very dynamic closure. So we had 2 for the price of 1, so to speak, tonight. And it was a pleasure, of course, to be in your company and to have, of course, done what was required in order to deliver what clearly is an imperative at this point in time as we move inexorably to save Trinidad and Tobago from the disaster that is the PNM and all of its nasty and what I consider to be macabre dimensions. Macabre dimensions through an entity called the PNM, a criminal enterprise.
They send me down like prophets of old to cool this tongue, keep it more control. Me I get no vision and thing, neither no big message to bring. All they tell me, hey man, I got Isonian, go and sing this song through the line.
So once again, people, of course,
Keep singing.
we have come to the end of tonight's program, but of course, don't forget tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Michael, myself, and then of course tomorrow night, the corridor transformation once again. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful one. Bye-bye.
Little bit of treasure, little bit of pleasure. All right. Keep singing every day. Remember, mommy said. They send me down like prophets of old to cool this tongue, keep it more control. Me I get no vision and thing, neither no big message to bring. All they tell me, hey man, I got Isonian, go and sing this song through the land. Keep singing every day. Remember, mommy said. But keep you flying high, same thing does make you cry. Little bit of treasure, little bit of pleasure. come through the land. Keep singing every day. Remember, mommy said, but keep you flying high. Same thing does make you cry. Little
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. Move and use it well before it's too late. If it is that who you're voting, fail beyond a doubt. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it to be only full amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about, just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Stain your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power, dominate your reign. Let's put our country together again. If for 30 years you voting them in, and it's only tears as soon as they win. They give you big words and enslave your souls, promising you roads and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building eyesores, east, west, north and south, the same way you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally